LoreWarrior Online C-SRP-O Seraph. Overview. One of the most widely recognised celestial Omnimechs, the Seraph is also the light assault unit of the bunch. Like the other Celestials, it takes its name from supernatural beings associated with the afterlife, mostly of the heavenly variety, and shares the standard of trading out the usual utilitarian terms for its configurations, such as A, B, and so on, for Latinesque High Dominus terms, such as Invictus, Dominus, and so on. In this fashion, Dr. Cortland ensured that the Celestials would forever stand apart from other Omnimech designs, with nomenclature as unique as their appearance. Capabilities. At 85 tons, the Seraph is the lighter of the two Assault class Celestials, and is arguably the one that is more of a generalist. With a light fusion engine, small cockpit, and thick armour, it's harder to kill than many modern mechs of its tonnage. Meanwhile, triple-strength myomas provide it a speed boost and devastating physical attack potential in high-intensity combat. To maximise the potential, virtually all of the known Seraph configurations are optimised to produce sufficient heat for the myoma's activation, encouraging the kind of brutal, fanatical fighting many of the word's elite appear to enjoy. Deployment. Of the two Assault-class Celestials, the Seraph is far more common than the heavier Archangel, but still only seen among the Wobby's most elite forces, such as the Wobby militia divisions in the Blake Protectorate, the Defence Forces on Terra, and the Mani Domini. Some sketchy reports, however, have placed these mechs in significant number amongst the so-called warrior houses Kali Lao fielded a few years back. However, as these mechs appeared and were largely destroyed during their failed assault on Cyan in 3074, it remains unclear if they were actually part of House Lao's Tugi Domini hybrid forces or the word's supporting troops. Notable mech warriors: Phantom Presenter Sigma Sabnok, a recently ascended Mani Domini from the 50th Shadow Division, originally known as Presenter Beren Keel. Sabnok was a native of Donegal in the Lyran Alliance before joining the Wobbies sometime in the 3050s. Before his induction into the Domini, Keel had a master's in biochemistry and was evidently working on some kind of bioweapons research for the Toyama before the Jihad. It's unclear how Keel came to join the ranks of the Domini per se, but he was an accomplished mech warrior for the word in the militia for years prior to the Jihad, and many have suffered severe wounds in battle against Chaos March insurgents during some undocumented battles there. Second in command of the 50th Shadow Division, Keel, who's now known simply as Sabnok, prefers to lead from the cramped cockpit of his Seraph Luminos, and is fond of wading into the thick of chaotic battle, and also unleashing biochemical weapons on unsuspecting opponents. More of this characterization of every enemy in the Word of Blake just being some kind of cartoonish villain. Anyway, the Seraph is an 85-ton assault. The chassis is the Celestial Series SP1. Its power plant is the GM255 Light Fusion with triple strength myoma. Its cruise speed is 32 kph and 54 max normally, but with TSM active that goes up to 43 cruise and 64 maximum speed running. It has no jump jet. Its armour is Duralex Divine Guardian. I quite like the name of that for the armour. Its armament is 43 tons of pod space, so pretty significant, and is manufactured by Gibson Federated Battlemechs and Martinson Armaments. Gibson for the Federated one, and On Terra for Martinson. Its communication system is the Master's Voice Cell Alpha, and its targeting tracking is the Master Sight 1 Omega. We've discussed that system before. Of course, one of the more shadowy and difficult systems to get your hands on these days, if there are any still in circulation on the black market or even on the traders market, and also for the fact that many of these were destroyed during the latter part of the word's existence before they were finally put down for good. Many of those machines were obviously taken in, pulled apart, and many of their systems were basically reverse engineered or just now kept in some military lockbox somewhere or a warehouse or whatever. I'm not sure of the exact nomenclature, but these things are just rotting away somewhere and not being appreciated for what they do. In the targeting and tracking community, we don't want to use them for anything other than just to admire them and see them for what they are, which are finely tuned pieces of equipment that are used in equally finely tuned machines of warfare. That aside, stat-wise, it is a walk of 3 and a run of 5, or 4 and 6, with TSM active. It has 10 double heat sinks for 20 in total, which isn't as much as you would think. Its armour is 9 on the head, 40 on the CT with 13 on the rear, 26 on the right and left torso with 9 on the rear, and then 27 on the arms and 35 on the legs. So very thick, very chunky, can take quite a lot of damage. And then we have the variants, or configurations in this case. So the standard, the Invictus, as they call it, has a double heatsink in the right arm with an Ultra AC-10. It has a MML-5 in the right torso with 30 rounds of ammunition for the Ultra, and then 48 and 40 ammo for the MML, and finally 15 rounds for the Streak SRM-6 that it has located a little further down. The right torso is protected by case. It has a retractable blade in the left arm for hand-to-hand combat. The left torso has an extra double heatsink, and another MML-5 and the Streak 6, and then finally the head has a snub-nose PPC, which you can see in the artwork is the big head mounted weapon there, but almost kind of looks like the head of the mech rather than that little V-shaped cockpit that's below it, which I think is a shame. It actually kind of looks kind of cool if the gun on the head was actually above the cockpit was the head. I think it actually looks a bit better like that, but that's just me. The Dominus, or alternate configuration Alpha, has a extra heatsink in the right arm with a heavy PPC. It has 2 improved jump jets in the right torso and a targeting computer with 10 rounds of plasma ammo. The CT has another jump jet. A retractable blade remains in the left arm with a further 2 improved jump jets in the left torso, backed up by a medium pulse laser, an ER medium laser. It has tag and another 10 rounds for the plasma rifle, which is located in the head. So I don't know with that model. Heavy PPC, bunch of mediums, and a plasma rifle. Jump jets, though, it sounds like a city fighter. So the Bravo configuration is a LB-20, which is split between the right arm and right torso, with 15 rounds of fire in the right torso. An AMS system with its ammunition is also located in the right torso. It has case to protect it from sudden explosions in that location. It has a heavy PPC in the left arm, a targeting computer in the left torso, and a snub-nose PPC in the head. It's an executioner, an LB-20 with a heavy PPC and a snub-nose. I mean, that thing just walks up and just fires all of its big guns into damaged targets and then moves on to the next. It's literally all that thing is there for. The alternate configuration C, or the Commonus, is 2 extra double heatsinks in the right arm with a plasma rifle and 2 ER medium lasers. The right torso has an MRM-40 with 12 rounds of ammunition and case. The left arm contains a double heatsink and a heavy PPC. The left torso has a further 2 double heatsinks and ammo for a plasma rifle, and then a pair of flamers in the head, which is quite interesting, and then a Guardian ECM suite in the center torso. So obviously the C configuration is designed around being basically a lance support model. It's got a bit of a dog's body build of numerous weapon systems for different ranges. It's anti-infantry with the flamers. Its heavy PPC is there obviously to hit heavy targets at medium and short range. Its plasma rifle is there to assist with that role, and its MRM-40 can allow it to reach out with a little bit of range damage. But the ECM is the most important thing there, as that's going to be there to protect the lance as much as possible as they move in. The Delta configuration is a heavy PPC in the right arm with a double heatsink. The right torso has 2 improved jump jets, a light PPC, a small laser, and a medium pulse laser. The left arm has a heavy PPC and double heatsink. The left torso has 2 more jump jets and a small laser and a medium pulse. And then the head has a flamer and another medium pulse, and finally another jump jet in the CT. So skirmisher, I think, jump capable skirmisher. I'm not quite sure that one is. That one's interesting because it's got pulses, it's got smalls, it's got heavy PPC. I think that one's a bit more of a kind of like a harasser in the middle of a brawl. It jumps around, it gets to a different angle, unexpected angles type thing that it hits targets from. And the E configuration is a Thunderbolt 20 in the right torso. For those who don't know, Thunderbolt LRMs are basically a missile system that was developed in the inner sphere, that it fires one single missile that does all of the damage to one location that it hits. Obviously, it has the drawback that any AMS system that is successful will shoot the missile down, and it does no damage at all, compared to obviously standard LRMs, which can fire a swarm of missiles, so an AMS might not be able to destroy all of them, so some of your missiles will get through. So it's a nice trade-off weapon. I don't mind the idea of a single, heavy munition that gets fired, and if it hits, it does good damage, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. This particular model carries a pair of Thunderbolt 20s, one in the right and left torso, with 12 rounds in the right torso and 6 rounds in the left torso. It has case to protect both of them, and it has a backup of one snub-nosed PPC. So that's basically your ranged fire support version of the Seraph. You hope that the enemy don't have ECM, a Guardian or Angel, and that they don't have any AMS systems. And yeah, if you hit, you're going to do a shitload of damage. But yeah, that's the Seraph. It is. I am aware of the Seraph being fairly popular amongst fans. I believe this was a model. This might be the one. It's this one or the Archangel. One of those two was added to Living Legends, funnily enough. And it's a very effective assault mech in Living Legends. If you haven't played it, do try it out. It's good. It's a good mod. It's still getting updated. Had a pretty sizable update recently, funnily enough. So yeah, a small community obviously, because Living Legends as a mod has been around for a while. But it is worth checking out if you want to play. If you want to play a MechWarrior title that has a bit more thought going into it, it's less about, click, boom, all your weapons, and it's more about actual team coordination. You've got maps that play a bit like the nearest thing I think is Battlefield. You've got multiple maps that you with objectives dotted around them, and you're moving around capturing those and then sort of reacting to the other team's movements and stuff. And the combat is definitely weighty. The mechs have a feel to them, but there's vehicles as well, and you can take out aerospace assets, both VTOLs and fighters, and you can fight on foot as well in power armor. So yeah, and power armor is I think power armor is one of the biggest annoyances of the game. That it's a little too good, a little too powerful. Some players in power armor in that game are so good. Anyway, I'm not doing a review of Living Legends. I'm not. I'll just end up talking about that for a while. Yeah, so the Seraph, it looks pretty cool, and yeah, it's very scary. It's just a pity it's a word of blame, to be honest. They're a bit shit, but at least they did go out of their way to make sure that their new supervillain had their own unique style of mech. So you can definitely tell their Omnimechs apart from clan mechs, and the same as you can tell Innisphere mechs apart from clan mechs and that kind of thing. So yeah, they did that at least. But yeah, I'll leave you with that one. Thanks for listening as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.